Well, good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Love Not Fear. I'm Jack Cox, author of Love Not Fear, and I'm with my gorgeous co-host Annie Day, who's written two scrumptious books.
Your guide to feeling fabulous fast and orgasmic health.
Right, we thought today we'd treat you all for a little bit of Wayne Dyer. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the wonderful writings of Wayne Dyer.
Indeed.
I will be putting a link to the source material down below. The book is called You'll See It When You Believe It.
Ain't it the truth?
Ain't it the truth? So many people think it's the other way round, but it ain't.
Oh, I would think quite a few people, but we know different, don't we? We know different. So
and I'm going to be reading from chapter 1, which is called Transformation.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Transformation is the ability and willingness to live beyond your form. I feel as if we have gone through a gate. As if I have gone through a gate, sorry, meaning him.
Yeah.
Which will not allow me, meaning him, to go back to the place where I used to live. To me, going through the gate symbolizes transformation. But what do I mean by transformation? I've lost my place.
Right.
Talk amongst yourselves, because I've lost my place.
All you need is love. La.
Start with the word form, the center of transformation. It is a term that describes the physical you. It includes all your physiological properties that you have come to associate with the human being that is you. Form includes your total weight, the weight of your bones, of your arteries, of your blood vessels, skin, eyeballs, toenails, heart and lungs, kidneys, and anything else that you name in your physiology. Yet certainly you are much more than a pile of bones, skin, and component parts. Everything that you would see in that pile of form, you will find also in a pig or a horse. The real you, the unique you, is 99% invisible, untouchable, unsmellable, and impervious to the physical senses, which knows only form. This is what we were talking about the other week, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The largest chunk of who you really are is something beyond form.
Indeedy.
You can think of it as your mind or your feelings or your thoughts or your higher consciousness. But whatever it is, it's certainly not your form, your physical form. All of your thoughts and your spiritual awareness are in this other formless dimension.
Yeah.
Now consider the prefix trans, which means beyond, above, or in literal terms, over. When we place that prefix in front of from, we get transform.
Yeah.
We now add the suffix ation, which means action or result, and we have the word transformation. To me, this word means the result of action, of going beyond one's form. And it is literally the challenge of this book. The book is written to help you to see yourself as someone much more advanced and divine than any mere form. Your form.
Spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. Your form must follow the rules of form, and it will change many times during your lifetime. Every single cell of your entire form will change every 7 years or so. And yet you will still exist. You were already a tiny little baby body, a pre-adolescent, a teenager. And depending on the current age of your form, in other bodies as well. The form has completely changed many times. And yet
Absolutely.
the real you has remained constant.
Yeah.
Once you understand this concept, you will be on your own way to going through the gate. What do you think of that, Annie?
I think he's spot on. We are so much more than our physical form. As beautiful and wonderful and sexy as our physical form is, we are so much more than that.
I always think that our physical form is a projection of our consciousness.
Yeah.
Every man-made creation starts with a thought, an idea, a vision, a mental image. In fact, I would take the word man-made out of that. I would say every creation starts with a thought, an idea, a vision, a mental image.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, absolutely.
The thought is then applied in some way to form a new product.
Yeah.
At this moment, I am talking my thoughts, applying them to a typewriter. I'm taking my thoughts, applying them to a typewriter, and creating a new product called a book.
Yeah.
We all go through this process thousands of times every day. The ultimate in becoming a transformed person is seeing ourselves as unlimited by our form. When you live exclusively in form, you live in a world of limitation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Think about all the limits that are placed on your form.
Yeah.
The limits are boundaries that dictate things. You can only lift so much weight. You can only run so fast. You can only work so hard. But limits are all in the dimension of form.
Yeah.
Now consider the part of you without physical limits, the dimension of thought. There are no limits to your ability to think. You can imagine yourself doing anything. You can have a perfect relationship with your mate in pure thought. You can be anything, go anywhere, experience all that you want in this dimension of thought.
Yeah.
Exclusive of form, free of form. I'm suggesting that you can experience a major portion of your life in this dimension of transcending your form. That is, in transformation. At the same time, you will be able to maintain your form and honor its requirements and lovingly understand its signals, while still knowing that it is serving you, the real you. The emphasis in our culture is in the value of the external, the physical appearance.
Yeah.
I'm suggesting that the emphasis be shifted to a concern with the formless self. Hang on, something. Andrew's entered the room. Sorry, I'll let him in.
Yeah, let Andrew in.
Hello, Andrew. Sorry we didn't let you in.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew. I'm suggesting that the emphasis be shifted to a concern for the formless.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hello.
Hey, Andrew.
I'm just reading a bit of. I'm just reading a bit of Wayne Dyer.
Grand. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, he's a good guy, or was.
I think he still is. He speaks to me most days. I've got his books, you know. I don't claim any connection with him on the other side, as others do. But he certainly speaks into my heart every day.
His voice will go on and on and on, being heard for decades.
Oh, for sure.
I think if there is anyone that I would like me to be like, it's him.
Absolutely.
He's my only hero. I'm not really bothered. I like the content that other people have brought, but he's kind of taken me on a journey in my life from when I left the church in 1993 to now, that he's been there in the background, his teachings. I've listened to tapes and then CDs and now audio files. You probably picked up quite a lot of, they just come out in conversation that we've had, and it's based on what Wayne said. So
It's
It
interesting.
says Andrew's network band is low.
Oh, all right. It's interesting that we're talking today, we're quoting from his book, You'll See It When You Believe It. And we're looking at chapter 1, which is all about living beyond form. And he's certainly carrying on living beyond his physical form. He would go on and on and on forever.
Absolutely.
Right, now where was I? Oh dear. Hang on, talk amongst yourselves. Right, the emphasis in our culture is on the value of the external, of the physical appearance.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm suggesting that the emphasis be shifted to a concern for the formless self, being ever mindful that the form houses the real you. With enough practice in this dimension, you will eliminate virtually all the limitations of your life. You will get past your form. And there's a biblical quote here from Paul, Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that is good and acceptable and perfect. I've said that wrong, haven't I? And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
I quoted it this morning in our meeting with the Way.
Oh yeah.
It's wonderful how synchronistic stuff is when people get to talking about these things. So I'll let you continue.
In future,
very synchronistic again, Andrew, isn't it?
In future, Andrew, I'll get you to read out the Bible quotes. I'm sure you do it much better than me.
I could almost recite it for you, but
from memory, I'm sure. Yeah,
from memory. But that one, because I did this morning, but I didn't quote the full thing. I quoted the first part, and then the bit that you struggled with, I didn't quote that bit.
I struggle with them because it's not the modern usage of language that we're familiar with. It's not the normal sentence structure that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
So I tend to go to read ahead, and then it doesn't work. Then it doesn't work. So. Right. Anyway, this is the place of transformation. This is the place where you can not only live a miracle, but create miracles as well. You can make higher and higher levels of living a regular part of your daily regime without going to a guru or mastering courses in metaphysics. How? By believing that you are a soul with a body rather than a body with a soul. It's just that shift of perspective, isn't it? And you will create for yourself a life that is literally without limitation. You will begin to see miracles. know what's happened. Something's popped up here. Hang on. I don't quite know what's happening there. Right. Yeah, you begin to see miracles occurring simply because you believe in them.
Absolutely. That's
And
the
expect
secret.
them
Yeah.
to materialize for you. This is what we keep on saying, isn't it, Annie? That we create what we believe and what we expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody was doing gloom and doom yesterday, and I said, do you know what? I'm going to give you a cup of tea with my favourite Audrey Hepburn quote on. And I think she was an amazing goddess for lots of reasons anyway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But on the cup, it says, always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. What a lovely, positive affirmation that is. And it is true. The more you believe that miracles are there every single moment of your life and that something wonderful is just about to happen, then that's, I think, part of the, I don't know what we'd call it, the manifestation process, maybe.
Another writer talks about being a reverse paranoid.
Yeah, I like
that. I've heard that. Yeah, that's good. Who was that? Was that Jack Canfield? I'm not sure.
It's Jack Canfield, but I think he got it from Wallace Wattles, but I think it's Jack Canfield that remembered for.
Brilliant.
Cool.
I mean, and I'm talking me now, I'm not reading from the book. I start every day with affirmations, and one of those affirmations is the universe is going to do something wonderful for me today.
Yeah.
You will begin to see the phenomenal miracle that you are when it comes to healing your own body.
Yes, indeedy.
Now, you've seen this as a healer, haven't you, Annie?
Absolutely, Jack. Honestly, I've seen miracles every single day. People have been told that they're not going to heal from this. And, you know, for instance, they're never going to be able to walk again. And hey ho, they do walk and they do heal. Just by changing our mindset about it.
I've known so many people.
The NHS can do that.
I've known so many people who refuse to accept the diagnosis.
Yeah.
Who refuse to accept the prognosis.
Me too.
And said, no, I don't accept that. And they've gone on to live for years and do wonderful things.
Absolutely, Jack.
We've got a friend in Ireland.
NHS staff aren't trained in NLP because the language that they use is very negative.
Very negative, yeah. I remember all the things they told me a year or two ago.
And they told me I'd never walk again. They told me I'd always be in pain. And they told me I'd have no sensation from my waist down. Completely wrong on 3 counts.
They told me I'd die if I came off my meds.
That hasn't happened, does it?
But I came off them anyway, and I'm feeling better than I've ever felt. Exactly.
You've had a real, I don't know, new lease of life since you came off all the NHS meds, haven't you?
I have.
Which, you know, so many people do. So, yeah. Well done, Jack. Well done to me for not believing the BS.
I was virtually housebound.
Yeah.
I used to struggle down to the allotment, and that was a real struggle to get down there.
Oh, it so was. I remember that. That was quite a sad time, wasn't it?
And now,
look at you now.
Now I'm going off on all these pet sitting gigs and things, and walking dogs, and I love it. You know,
having a lovely time.
Having a wonderful time. Yeah.
Yeah. So much of the NHS drugs, well, let's say it is big pharma's drugs. This is not our original NHS where you were examined, where they looked at all different things that you could do that were of a more natural nature. Since they got into bed with big pharma, all they are now is drug peddlers for the big pharmaceutical companies, in my humble opinion.
Well,
but it's been borne out so often in the last 20 years, Jack, honestly.
It's my humble opinion too, Annie. Not that I tend to be all that humble, but
No, I'm doing my best today. I was concentrating on being magnificent, but I can be humble. I can be humble as well.
Andrew, you wanted to say something?
I was just thinking about our friend. She went to oncology, and they gave her 6 months to live 5 years ago. And they said to her, because she's got stage 3 breast cancer, that they want to see her again in October or November. And then at that point, they may take her off all her meds. It's a miracle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a miracle. And miracles are a lot more common than you think. But
Oh,
if you don't
absolutely,
expect them,
Andrew.
if you don't expect them, if that witch doctor, I mean that doctor, that doctor points a stick at you and says you've only got 6 months to live, go away and make memories. That's a pretty frightening thing for anybody to say to you, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? Really.
But she said, I decided, I want to live. I want to live. So she goes to Spain 3 times a year, and she goes. She's coming over here in August, but I think she's 3 or 4 times a year. She comes to England, and they were away at a Nathan Carter concert over the weekend. I mean, it's just not listening. No, it's like you told me that. No, I'm not listening.
La, I'm not listening.
but she does get frightened by it at times, and
the NHS are great at fear porn.
But it's one day at a time. It's actually one day at a time for all of us. It's not just people who've been given diagnosis. Yeah. But
no, if it's personal, I'll take it out.
Yeah,
I'll take it out.
But yeah, it just.
But what a pity that's got to come out.
Maybe we can talk about the witch. Leave the witch doctor in. Sorry, what did you say, Annie?
I said, what a pity that we're not able to tell the truth about how many people have been given negative, horrible diagnoses, that they've gone, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do the more natural route, and I am going to survive this. And have actually gone on to do it. It's just a pity that we have to be, well, that we're being censored about saying.
We don't talk about named people behind their backs.
I shouldn't have used the name, and if I'd have called her Frida or something instead,
Frida,
it would have been better, wouldn't it?
Right. Well, maybe I can keep the story in and just bleep out where you mention the name. I'll have to.
Yes, that'd be a good thing. And Nathan Carter and any other identifying thing, but it's a true story. Given 6 months to live, and being frightened by it. She said, I married an older man so that I'd be nearer to the widow's pension, but it appears that I'm not going to get one.
Those are bloody right. Anyway, I was going to say about a case study that I read recently about a Greek immigrant in America.
Yeah.
Who was given 6 months to live. And he decided to go back to his Greek island to be with his family, his extended family, for the few weeks, months he had left. And he ended up living another 20 years.
Jack, honestly, so many patients. I've mentioned this before, but I worked in a hospice for 5.5 years. So many of the patients would ask the oncologist how long they'd got to live. And he'd go, oh, people with your kind of cancer are usually dead in 3 weeks. Some people, because it was a man in a white coat, would die bang on the 3 weeks. Every so often you'd get somebody who'd go, no, do you know what? And one of the lovely stories was, there was a lady who was 90 who'd asked that question, and he said, oh, you've got 3 weeks. And when he walked out the door, she said he can bugger right off.
Yeah.
He can bugger right off. I
Bugger
am
right
not
off,
going to
yeah.
be dead in 3 weeks. She says, do you know what I'm going to do, Annie? I'm going to make friends with my sister because we haven't spoken for 20 years and I can't even remember what we fell out about. And I'm going to wear my posh frocks to go shopping. And I want to swim with dolphins. I've always wanted to swim with dolphins. I've always wanted to go in a hot air balloon. And long after the 3 weeks, you know, we kept in touch for probably another 5 years. And actually, Jack, that's what we should all be doing with anybody who tells us that there is no hope. We have to go, no, do you know what? It's fear porn and I'm not doing that.
It's fear porn. It's voodoo. It's voodoo. That's how
Is
voodoo
it?
works. It's pointing the bone and saying you'll be dead by the next full moon.
Yeah,
and the bloke drops
exactly.
down dead.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. You put the idea into his subconscious mind, deeply accepted by his subconscious mind, and his subconscious
And a lot
mind
of
makes it happen.
exactly, and a lot
It's
of people try, you know, trust doctors, nurses. What they say is like very important. It gets under their radar, and they believe it. And for that, I am very, very sad.
So, getting back to Wayne Dyer.
Come on, then.
Yeah, your belief in your body's ability to heal itself will begin to reflect how you take care of the precious temple that houses you.
Yeah.
As soon as we start to realize that this body is housing us,
Yeah.
it's a meat suit we drive around in. It's
Yeah.
not us. And when we start to realize that, then we can start taking care of it, the same as we take care of our karma.
Absolutely.
Fear of death will dissolve as you come closer to an awareness that thinking, your essential self never dies.
Exactly.
Thought cannot die. Consciousness cannot die. It's the energy that composes the very existence of the universe. And once you believe this within your being, deep within your being, you will never, ever need to fear death again.
Yeah, we just need to remember that we're eternal beings, and we might not be in this same suit forever or this same vehicle forever, but we are eternal beings for absolute certainty. There's never been a time when I didn't exist. There will never be a time when I don't exist.
Absolutely.
That is my true belief.
Yeah. No, we're going to talk about a named person behind her back, I'm afraid, but Wayne Dyer's already done it. And she's a public figure, so I suppose it's okay.
Yeah.
A beautiful woman by the name of Peace Pilgrim walked across America a few years back. Have you heard of Peace Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Annie? Yeah. Andrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking my video off at the moment because it keeps saying I'm unstable. We need that, but the internet connection's unstable.
We know you're unstable, Andrew. You wouldn't be watching this program. Right.
We all must be in the same club, Andrew. I think we're all a little bit unstable.
If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club.
Right. She walked across America a few years back, spreading her message of peace and love and personal transformation. She describes the characteristics of personal transformation in this short list. A tendency to think and act spontaneously rather than on fears. Yeah, rather than living out of fear.
Absolutely.
An unmistakable ability to enjoy each moment.
Yeah.
A loss of interest in judging other people.
Spot on. Spot on.
A loss of interest in interpreting the actions of others.
Yeah, it's their circus, their monkeys. And somebody told me a long time ago, I think it was my second master, that quite often the way people behave towards you is nothing at all to do with you, and everything to do with how they interpreted or how they received that, what filters they used, what old programs are still running. So actually it isn't really anything to do, it isn't anything to do with us. We're just a catalyst for change.
Yeah, it's their trauma.
It is.
A loss of interest in conflict.
Yeah,
A loss of the ability to worry.
indeedy.
I love the definition of worry that somebody said recently. It's worry is praying for something that you don't want.
But it's true, isn't it?
Yeah. The frequent, overwhelming episodes of appreciation.
Yes, indeedy.
Feelings of connectedness with others and with nature.
Yeah.
In fact, we would say it's the recognition that there aren't any others. They're all other us's.
They're all us. They're all me.
All me.
All those beautiful creatures are all me. They're all part of our beautiful earth and our beautiful being, aren't they? I think you said it the last time we talked about this, that you had this big aha moment that everybody is Jack Cox.
Everybody's me, everybody's you.
Yeah.
Just different points of focus within the one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frequent attacks of smiling.
We don't know anybody like that, Jack Cox, do we?
An increased susceptibility to the love extended by others.
Yeah.
As well as the uncontrollable urge to extend it.
Yes, indeedy. Again, it's part of that pay it forward energy, I think. Somebody does something really scrummy for us, and then we do, you know, something really loving and kind, random act of kindness for somebody. And again, that's part of it, isn't it? Just expressing our love for people and our appreciation.
Don't pay us back, pay it forward.
Indeedy.
That's the new paradigm that the world is going to have to shift to sooner or later.
Yeah.
Don't pay us back, pay it forward. Stop all the bean counting.
Jack, absolutely.
Stop trying to make every exchange exactly proportionate.
Yeah.
Stop worrying whether you're going to get anything back or not. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it out of love.
Random acts of kindness.
Just do it out of love without thinking about yourself.
Yeah. And senseless acts of beauty.
And what goes around comes around.
It so does. It so does now.
So, getting back to Wayne Dyer, life will become a fascinating journey filled with joy and awe.
Yay!
The part of you that resided for so long in the limitations that you imposed on yourself by living in form will become free to see the whole new panorama.
Yay!
If and when you believe it.
Absolutely. You can't have it till you believe it. Believe that you're worthy of it. Believe that it's on its way, even if you can see no evidence that it's on its way. That's what's the most important thing, isn't it? Just believe in it. That something wonderful is about to happen. And it is.
It is, yeah. And I've gone and lost my place. Hang on.
Okay.
No, I've gone and lost my place. Right. Okay. When you believe it, you'll find yourself slowing down. Not that I could slow down much slower, could I?
I think you're very frisky when you're taking your dogs for the walk, Jack.
Ah, you want to see me when I'm frisky.
Do I know? Well, you've just given me an open invitation, Jack. I want to see your friskiness tomorrow.
All right. This is going to be X-rated, I think.
I'll make you skip round the garden at Heaven Sent Bliss. How would that be for friskiness?
You will find yourself slowing down and living in that quiet inner space where you can appreciate what comes your way.
Yeah.
You will know in your heart that you need not be threatened by the views or actions of anyone else.
Yeah.
As my friend Mark Byersky says, no one has the power over you.
Yeah. I've got an affirmation, and it does not matter what others say or do. All that matters is how I choose to react and what I choose to believe about myself.
Yeah.
And every so often when I get a bit wonked by something that somebody said or done, I just remember to Haven that does not matter what others say or do. All that matters is how I choose to react and what I choose to believe about myself. Because that just completely turns it all around then, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely. Yeah. You will receive more joy and ease in your life.
Yay!
I think I would have written that as you will experience more joy and ease in your life.
Yeah.
Because that is what you will be sending out.
Indeed.
You will find you always get back what you send out. You don't have to look for an exact exchange. The universe does it for you.
Yeah.
You will find
we know that wherever your thoughts go, that's where your energy flows to, isn't it? So just make sure it's somewhere good.
You will find it easier to accept contrary views. You won't be offended by them.
Yeah, we've talked quite a bit about people being offended.
Knowing that you are not defined by anything or anyone external to yourself.
Absolutely.
You will find great joy in the ease that replaces rancor.
Indeedy.
And pain. You will eliminate conflict and confrontation as you find it unnecessary to prove yourself to anyone.
Yeah.
In effect, you will begin to tap the enormous power of your mind. You will peacefully meditate through others. Sorry, that's not right either. You will peacefully mediate through others, with others.
Yeah.
You will be the power of a quiet mind. And you will
choose. The sound of that.
Yeah. And you will choose to go there often.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You will discover things about yourself that you perhaps never considered before.
Yeah.
You will be that perfect intelligence that is within all form, that is in that miraculous inner space where everything that you can visualize is possible.
Yeah.
He's talking here, of course, about the quantum field, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
The field of infinite possibilities.
Yeah. Lynne McTaggart's book is called The Field, isn't it? And it describes beautifully. Yeah, it really is, isn't it? Yeah, so anybody who hasn't read Lynne McTaggart, The Field, I'd thoroughly recommend it. It explains just what Jack's been saying about the quantum field being out there, and we can bring in whatever our heart desires.
He talks about a lot. She talks about memories not being held in the brain.
Yeah. They're in our body's
being
intelligence.
External.
Yeah.
I've always thought that our fields exist in the Akashic records. Our memories exist in the Akashic records.
Yeah, for sure.
and we have an upload and download facility.
Yep.
It's only the very shortest term memories that are held in the brain.
Yeah.
I have come to know that there is an invisible, untouchable, odorless, and yet very real intelligence behind and supporting all form. This intelligence has been labeled as many things. Some call it God, others the life force, or higher consciousness, or
Yeah.
divine spirit. We talked about some of the names that we could use,
Yeah,
didn't we,
absolutely, Jack.
in a recent show.
Yeah, indeed.
But the label's not important.
No, it's not.
It's the
We just
living of
need
it.
to know that we are part of the divine.
And it's the living of that knowledge, of that realization that
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that matters so immensely.
Yeah, really does, darling. You're right.
When we know that deep inside us, we live differently.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
live without fear, for one thing.
Yeah.
We take all the shit that happens to us and as so what?
Yeah.
It's just another learning opportunity,
Oh, for sure.
another growth opportunity.
Yeah.
And a few years from now, we won't even be in this form anymore, and it won't matter.
Yeah.
So don't take everything so seriously. There are no tragedies.
No.
This is something that Richard Bach
Yeah.
brought home in Illusions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
idea,
Yeah.
the idea that there are no tragedies.
Yeah.
We're just, he used the analogy of a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That we're all in a movie. And we are the actors, and we are the directors, and we are the film, and we are the projector.
Yeah.
And well, and it's all tomato ketchup blood. It's at the end of the day, at the end of the days, it
Yeah.
won't matter.
No.
It won't matter. There are no tragedies. The
Yeah.
only tragedies are belief in tragedies.
Yeah. I've got this thing on my wall that I've read a couple of times before, but I feel it's relevant now. Your perceived mistakes were all divinely guided learning experiences.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is why I say, and I've said it so many times on this show,
Yeah.
I'm profoundly grateful to all the people who have facilitated my greatest growth.
Yeah. And development, we couldn't have done it without them.
We couldn't have done it without them treating us like shit and doing all these horrid things to us.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have grown.
Exactly. And we're not
wouldn't be,
into stagnation.
and we wouldn't be who we are now.
No, for sure. For absolute certainty, Jack. Everything that's happened to us has made us this magnificent, perfect being that we are today. And without any of that, we wouldn't be as sparkly.
Yeah. And the other thing, the realization I had a few years back, and I've said it before, is that who would we actually be asking to take us through these most difficult experiences? Only our very, very closest friends in spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, as human beings, we tend to fear change. And actually, change is the only constant in the multiverse. It's the only constant is change. Yeah. And it's that we tend to fear. So if we can stop fearing change, and there's a Louise Hay affirmation, and she says, it's only change. It's only change. It's only change. You know, because we have this idea that change needs to be fearful, and actually it doesn't. We just have to say, okay, for whatever reason, that isn't meant to continue like that, and this is going to change. And whatever happens, we'll handle it. Yeah,
of course we will. We always have. We've handled everything that's come up so far.
Exactly.
So why should we not handle whatever comes up next? You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've survived 100% of our worst days. Not only survived, but we've thrived.
My dad used to have a saying.
Go on.
He thought he was being funny. He used to say, everything will either change or stay the same. I said, no, Dad, nothing ever stays the same.
So you can have change, or
more
let me think
change.
now, you could have more change. I love it. I love it.
So
Constant change is here to stay.
Yes, well done, Andrew. I like that.
Good one. Right. Carl Jung was expressing something similar when an interviewer asked him if he believed in God. His startling answer was no. Then, after a thoughtful pause, he continued, I know there is a God.
Oh, nice.
And he knew he was it and all.
Yeah.
And
we
all,
are
mate, and
part
all.
of we are part of the divine. We just are.
We are all, yeah, different points of focus within the divine.
Exactly. Made out of stars.
Observe a tree and contemplate the intelligence within and behind that tree that allows it to function perfectly in form. The leaves come and go. The sap drips out. It flowers when it is supposed to. It is much more than simple form.
Yeah.
It contains a life force that makes it alive. We cannot see that life force, but it is very real.
Absolutely.
We love trees, don't we, Annie?
Oh, we so do, don't we? We have quite a love affair with our beautiful trees.
I was talking to the trees yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah, I mistook one. I don't know what I thought it was, but I was wrong. It was an oak, and I said, "I'm really sorry, Mr. Oak." Really apologetic, but you are beautiful.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of I'll send it to you on Facebook. A
Okay,
really
lovely.
beautiful tree. Yeah.
Right, well, Wayne Dyer's saying this, but I could just as easily be saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I look at the skin on the back of my hand a lot recently. When I pinch it, it no longer snaps back as it once did. It sort of meanders back to its original position. Meanders, I love that word. There are wrinkles around my eyes that were never there. I've taken to growing ear hair.
And most men grow ear hair and nose hair.
Now I pull my nose hairs out regularly.
No,
Too much information.
that sounds extremely painful.
No, it's not. No. I see my form changing all the time. If I thought that was all that I am, I would feel depressed over my physical changes.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm so much more than that.
Yeah.
I'm so much more than this form that I occupy. This form which is getting old, this form which doesn't function the way it used to in so many areas. It's not the real me.
Exactly.
And I'm not
very in touch with my inner 16-year-old.
And I'm not particularly attached to it. I'm happy to give it up tomorrow. I can give it up right now. I wouldn't care.
Oh, Jack, but then we'd miss out on fragrances, on seeing beautiful things, on music, on sex, on being touched and intimacy. So we do need our beautiful physical body to be able to do that.
So there'll be another one along in a minute. A bit like buses. There'll be another one along in a minute. I know that I am a soul with a body.
Yes.
Rather
not the other way
than
round,
a body,
as people usually
rather than a
presume.
body with a soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, when this body goes, it'll be replaced by a brand new one.
Yeah, I'm having a Ferrari next time.
A little baby's
A
body.
Ferrari body next time.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
In Terminator.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Terminator.
Can I share something?
Yeah, sure.
The lyric of a song from the film Fame. It's I sing the body electric. I sing the body electric. I celebrate the me yet to come. I toast to my own reunion when I become one with the sun. And I look back on Venus and I look back on Mars and I'll burn with the fire of 10 million stars. And in time, we will all be stars. I sing the body electric. I glory in the glow of rebirth, creating my own tomorrow when I shall embody the earth. And I'll serenade Venus, I'll serenade Mars, and I'll burn with the fire of 10 million stars. And in time, we will all be stars. We are the emperors now. We are the czars. And in time, we will all be stars. I sing the body electric. I celebrate the me yet to come. I toast to my own reunion when I become.
That is brilliant, Andrew.
Yeah,
It just
beautiful.
lifts you, the song. I sing the body electric. I celebrate the me that's to come. I toast to my own reunion when I become one with the sun. You've got to find it. It just, and there's this orchestra playing in the background. It's just magical. But you're talking about there'll be a Ferrari around. I think that's the Ferrari.
Yeah, I did think to start with I'll be a star and just be a star shape, but then stars are made up of gases, so actually you just have to be more shimmery and sparkly than that rather than solid form. I think I'll be a star tetrahedron.
This thing that we call a soul, that I call my being or myself, is the very essence of what we are.
Yeah.
It is the intelligence behind the form. And the biggest difference between me today and me several years ago is that I now love the fact that I am not exclusively my form.
Yeah.
Buckminster Fuller once said that 99% of who we are is invisible and untouchable.
Yeah.
It is
Look
our
at
ability
subtle
to.
bodies, look at our aura, look at our connection to the cosmos, the multiverse, whatever we're calling it. None of that is seeable.
It is our ability to think and go beyond form that determines the quality of our lives. Being able to express and experience the statement, I am my ability to think and feel. I am not my form. It is the major transformational difference in my life today. I see myself having chosen a variety of roles in this lifetime. Shakespeare said that, didn't he? All the world's a stage, all the men and women.
Oh, absolutely. He was a very smart man, wasn't he?
Bill Hicks said it's just a ride.
Yeah. Love Bill Hicks.
Brilliant guy.
And George Carlin, I've discovered recently, or fairly recently.
I had some correspondence with him just before he died. Absolutely brilliant guy.
Oh, just amazing soul, wasn't he? Isn't
Very
he?
very generous soul.
Yeah, absolutely.
And completely unchanged by fame.
Yeah.
So humble.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So
massively. Yeah, massively.
I used to believe that those roles were the real me, and that everything that I did determined my essence.
Yeah.
I experienced my form doing what I have chosen to do. And
Yeah, for sure.
at the same time, I can get mentally behind that form and
Yeah.
observe myself going through the doing motions of my
Yeah,
humanity. Thus, I work and I sweat
yeah.
and I play
As
tennis.
ladies don't, we perspire.
You glow. I write, I speak to large audiences. I make love to my wife. This is way Dyer. I don't
Yeah,
make love to
I guess that was the case.
I walk along the beach. I pay my bills. I strive to save some money. I talk on the telephone about my investments. I hug my children. And I do all the other actions that I chose for myself. Those actions, those roles have a magically enhanced quality to them when my being is in the doing and not just my form.
Yeah, spot on, Jack, for sure.
Well, I involve that invisible, untouchable part of myself. Then do I recognize that my physical self, my form, is not all that I am. When I bring my thoughts and my feelings to my physical actions, I experience a balance, a wholeness, a meanness.
Yeah.
My ability to be thought itself is the real miracle that I am part of.
Yeah.
No one can get behind my eyeballs and experience my inner reality. And likewise, I cannot enter anybody else's form
Yeah.
and become the process of that person's. But I can and I do allow myself to become my mind rather than my form. And it's important that he says mind and not brain. Brain is part of the form. You've got to move beyond brain as well.
Yeah.
I now live each day as if that intelligence that is in all living things, including me, is the real essence of life. I no longer fear death, since I know that we are never formed, but are always in a state of transformation. And that through form may, hang on, that doesn't make any sense. And that through form may ultimately look as if it has died. Though form may ultimately look as if it has died, you simply cannot kill thought. I'm going to say that again. I had to, didn't I? Though form may ultimately look as if it has died, you simply cannot kill thought. The major difference that I note in myself is the phenomenal new compassion that seems to have swept into my being in recent years. Where I previously was able to ignore others or to live in my own world, so to speak, now I find myself more emotionally connected to the inner energy of all life forms.
Yeah.
We've felt this, Annie, haven't we, very much?
Oh, for sure, darling. For sure.
When we connect with trees, particularly, we feel that
Oh, yeah.
we feel that it's not them and us.
No, we are one.
That
We are
one.
just one, aren't we?
There is no boundary there.
No, absolutely.
We melt into the tree and the tree melts into us.
Yeah, for sure. Our
And
energies just morph into each other. I think is the right word for it. Yeah.
And we feel that with the people that we're close to as well, don't we?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, back to Wayne. I do a lot of traveling and speaking engagements. And in the past, I have proceeded single-mindedly through a crowded aeroplane to get to my seat. But now I find myself helping anyone to stow the hand luggage in the overhead compartments, when I would have just squeezed past that person in the past.
Oh, good man.
I love this new compassion. I mean, you and I do that, don't we? We help
We
people.
do on automatic pilot, really, don't we?
We help people whenever we get the opportunity. We don't think
Yeah,
about
for
it.
sure.
We don't stop and evaluate it.
No,
We just do it.
we just think I could help that person, and then we just crack on and do it, don't we?
Yeah, it never occurs to us
Practice
not to.
random acts of kindness.
It never occurs to us not to, because we know that other person is us.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess there is a certain amount as well, on occasions, because we are ultra-sensitive empaths, that we know what that person may be going through, and we just want to brighten their day, help them to get through whatever it is that's hurting their hearts.
Yeah. We know that not every aspect of us, not every facet of us, of the universe, of the divine, understands. Some of them believe in tragedy. And so we can help them in any way.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Don't we? It's just natural.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, darling, for sure.
I have found that I am developing a new to me style of intelligence without conscious effort.
Yeah.
I find that I have a sensitivity to and understanding of concepts that at one time seemed fuzzy and bizarre. There's something else I was reading today. Can't remember where I was reading it. Might have been another chapter of this book, actually. Where the writer was saying, I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Edit that bit out.
I've totally forgotten what I was going to say.
Well, it's because we're live. It's because we're live. Just proves that this is live. It was completely unrehearsed. It'll come back to you, won't it?
Probably, yeah. When it's no longer relevant.
Okay.
I enjoy reading about quantum reality, relativity, metaphysics, and all measure of Eastern thought. I find it fascinating, where I previously found it unfathomable or even dull. In bookshops, I find myself in the sections of philosophy, New Age, metaphysics, and the like, regretting that I do not have the time to read everything that is out there.
Yeah.
I have a new fascination with these subjects, but more significantly, they seem to fit into my personal readiness.
Yeah.
I have become more open-minded about everything in the universe.
Yeah.
My vision, this is open-mindedness. I think this is the thing I've noticed. Oh yeah, I mean what I was going to say now.
Go for it, Jack.
Paradoxes, dichotomies.
Yes, indeedy.
Yeah, he was saying that the gateway to one of the author, I can't remember whether it was Wayne Dyer or somebody else.
Yeah.
Was saying that the gateway to moving into this new understanding, is to accept the paradoxes, not to be bowled over by them.
Yeah.
What was it Lewis Carroll said? Believe 3, I can't remember how many, impossible things every morning.
Yeah.
The world is full of paradoxes, and it's coming to an understanding that this is the big thing for me, and I'm talking about me now, not Wayne,
Yeah.
The big thing in my life was realizing that I didn't have to, that I could accept the paradoxes, I could accept the dichotomies.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
it's not this is true, all this is true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
finding a space where both can be true.
yeah. Lots of shades of grey.
Hmm. Let's see what else you go on to say. Even more intriguing is that it now makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah,
I understand what was previously muddled.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's openness to these new ideas or if I've simply developed a greater intelligence through my studies.
Yeah.
But in any case, I love it. And even more, I love sharing it. We've gone a bit over time here. I'm only about halfway through
So
this.
unlike us, Jack. So
Right.
unlike us.
I think I'm going to knock it on the head there because we're waffling on and waffling on and waffling on a bit here, aren't we? Well, I am.
Well, I think we're just exploring all the facets of this concept because it is very complex, isn't it? And it's not how we've been conditioned to believe the earth and life is. It's the opposite of what we've always been trained and conditioned to believe in, isn't it?
Hmm.
I've had this big aha moment at the weekend
Oh dear.
after having some beautiful plant magic. I always
Hmm.
do my best thinking when I've had plant magic.
Oh, me too.
But
Me too.
I was talking to a friend and I realised that this was like a really big penny to drop. That at the times when I thought that I was down and out and it was game over and was actually me manifesting these opportunities for my soul's growth.
Yeah.
You said it earlier, didn't you, that we are the, I don't know, the director, the producer, the actor, we are the whole caboodle. And it was, although I've heard it in many formats over the years, this was just really, really concrete that throughout my life, all these learning and development opportunities, I manifested it. I chose to do this for my soul's growth and my heart's growth. And yeah, it was something I haven't really acknowledged about myself, I suppose, in such a profound level.
Well, maybe next week or the week after, we can give a similar treatment to illusions,
Mm-hmm.
or at least the particular chapter on the movie.
Yeah.
It's quite a short chapter. It's quite a
Yeah.
short book.
Yeah.
It's nothing like as heavy as
Oh,
Wayne.
it's a tiny book, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
A tiny little book, and it's very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
But it's full of so many deep insights.
Yeah.
In fact, I think
We're
if
getting
any one
downloads
book,
all the time, aren't we, Jack?
if any one book changed my life, or set me on the path, or put me back on the path after I'd strayed,
Yeah,
is probably
yeah,
a better
yeah.
way of putting it. It was that one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right, I will put all the books we mentioned in the comments, in the show notes. I will try and bleep out Andrew's mention of his friend's name. So thank you very much, Annie, for being my wonderful co-host.
And thank you, Jack Cox, for being my wonderful co-host and also for doing all the funky magic with IT and getting it edited and getting it uploaded onto YouTube. I am always in awe of your great skills.
Well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say.
No, but it's true though, isn't it? It's true.
And thank you,
True
Andrew.
story.
Thank you, Andrew, for reading to us and singing to us.
Yes, that was lovely, Andrew.
You need to
Kenny,
find the original.
yeah.
It's so good as that one. Oh,
We
it
love-
lifts my spirit every time I hear it.
Yeah.
We love hearing you sing. And Chris
He's
is not
daring
here
to go
tonight.
for it. He's daring to go for it. He's actually singing now. He's not going to rehearse. He's just going to go with it.
And Chris is not
Where's
here
your
tonight.
book, Andrew? Where is your book? Because we need to sing.
Love is all. You've got to sing.
Oh, you are muted. No, no. All you need is
Need is
love.
love.
Love is all you
La, la,
need.
la. All you need is love. La,
Get
la,
it on
la,
Amazon.
all you need is love.
Love, love.
Love is all
Love
you
is all
need.
you need. And Chris is
Jack,
not
it
here
wouldn't
this
be
week
us
to
if we didn't put that
criticize
in.
my singing.
There's no criticism. It actually says it in this book. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, not a tuneful one.
Thank you, Kenneth, for coming along, and
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
so much.
and thank you to all the people that will be watching later on YouTube.
Yeah,
Please do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so,
yeah,
because it helps us reach more people.
indeed, it
And
does.
we do want to get our message of love and unity out to more people.
Absolutely.
So until next week,
Namaste.
namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.